Just north of Paseo del Norte and west of the Rio Grande off Coors Boulevard is the Calabacillas Arroyo, a trailhead along Albuquerque's northern Bosque, serving as a staging area for my horseback ride with Steve Simmons and New Mexico Horse Adventures. Shaded by majestic cottonwoods and thick with willows and brush, the Bosque is a riverside forest situated within the city limits. As a resident of Albuquerque, the Bosque is a familiar and beloved respite for me. But this will be my first time horseback riding along its many trails.
Sky is a 13-year-old registered Morgan gelding.
Okay.
Morgans love to have a job. The worst thing you can do to them is bore them.
That's when they start acting up, when they have too much
Yeah, then they
time.
start looking for something to do. But I've had Sky now for 3 years. I've got his full sister at home, and all the horses I have are Morgans because I just really like the breed.
Right.
They love to work. They love to please. They have great endurance. They're fairly easy keepers. They're very smart. In battle for the Civil War, they were fearless. Not reckless, but fearless.
Right.
And there's lots of stories about Morgans doing really phenomenal things in the war. They're literally just running right through the southern lines, crashing over barricades, leading soldiers into charges that nobody thought a horse would take a soldier into. The only survivor of Custer's group at the Little Bighorn was a Morgan.
Really?
Actually, it was a Morgan Mustang Cross. We'll get him saddled up for you, and Margaret, my helper here, is going to give you just a quick lesson. And while you're riding him and getting your lesson, we'll get the other horses ready so we can go.
Sounds good.
Steve offers tons of different riding excursions throughout the state, where you can bring your own horse or, like me, get matched with one. In this job, I've ridden my fair share of horses, and I've learned every outfitter has their breeds they prefer, and in Steve's case, it's clearly the Morgan. And after hearing their story, I can understand why.
So to go, you squeeze them, and just don't kick them, squeeze them. Say walk on.
Walk
To
on.
stop, we say you sit back on your pockets and say and ho,
Oh.
and then release.
Sky is a gorgeous horse, and it appears he's amiable to me as his rider as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's very responsive.
It didn't take long for Sky and me to find our rhythm, so before the sun could get any higher in the sky, we decided to head on out. I sometimes forget how spoiled we are to have a wild natural preserve like the Bosque in our own backyard. A dense woodland along the banks of the Rio Grande, our city's very own pristine oasis. And treating myself to a horseback ride along its sandy trails epitomizes the notion of staycation. But the Bosque is not only a sanctuary for humans looking to escape city life, it's an important habitat and migratory stop for more than 500 different animal species throughout the state. Its significance as a true ecological gem cannot be understated. The fact is, no one tends to the soul the way Mother Nature does. On the trail, the sound of the river and the insulation provided by the canopy of trees overhead mutes any traffic noise, keeping the hustle and bustle of the outside world at a distance, protecting us from its hurried pace. Undoubtedly, there are plenty of people in Albuquerque, especially in Los Ranchos, who regularly bring their horses to the trails along the river, or any number of the acequias in the North Valley, to indulge in the pastoral experiences this area offers. But sometimes, the rest of us need a reminder to tap into the bucolic nature of this part of town. And for me, I'm grateful to Steve and his compadres for treating me to a sweet summer's day on horseback in the town I call home. While you're down here, make sure to visit the Rio Grande Nature Center State Park. With access to nature trails, wetlands, and wildlife viewing areas, this preserve was designed by renowned local architect Antoine Predock and is a gem of the Bosque. Ask Steve about his rides to take in other wildlife of the area, like the wild horses outside Placitas. After your ride, head over to Corrales for a bite at Hannah and Nate's or Indigo Crow Cafe.